everybody, welcome back to my channel. In this episode I'm gonna share some of my experience with my child about how I encourage him to talk. I'm gonna share some of the methods, some of the ways how I use with my child. Different babies, they might start talking at the different ages. Depends on what kind of gender. Usually the boys are a little late comparing with the girls when it comes to the talking and to the other development. It takes more time for them to develop certain skills comparing with the girls, but different every baby, they have their own development and they have their own way of growing. At around 18 months they are accepted, the babies, to say at least 20 words and to start expressing words and to understand the meaning of the word. Babies are like a sponge, that they observe everything that they are around them, and even though they might not say too much words, they understand more than they can say. uh, they are physically and mentally developing. They still are developing the muscles of their mouth so they can pronounce letters and sounds, and also they are even in developing of their mind so they can understand the meaning, and also they can do even different gestures to express the things that they want to say. By yes, I understand from my son, the first letters that he can pronounce are the words that they start with M, with P, with B, and D. Actually, these four letters are the words that he can pronounce right now, like mama, baba, like bye, like like bravo when he wants to clap, or different kind of words that they are around these letters, or dada. So this kind of, or papa. So this kind of words, they are very common for the children to be the first word. First method that I use and I encourage my child to talk is to talk with him face to face. Actually, this is a method that starts since in the very early age of the baby. I start trying to communicate since he was a just born baby. I start to make funny faces, I start to make different sounds, and also to smile to the baby. So in this way the baby can understand the expressions of my face, the movement of my lips, and in this way you can encourage your child to pronounce different sounds. But this is not a method that is used only for the early age. It is a method that you can continue using even when your baby start getting older. In this way they can understand your lips, the movement of your lips, and also the sounds of the words that you are pronouncing. The only thing that I can say is that you should pronounce it very slowly, so in this way you can it gives him time to understand the movement of the lips and also the sounds that you are creating. This kind of method, it started with a very beginning with smiles and sounds like animal sounds, and then it started even with words that they are for daily use. So in this way I could tell my child about different things and stimulate him to answer me back. Another way is to describe the things that you are doing. If you are in the kitchen and you are cooking, you can describe to your child what you are doing and how you are doing. Even though you think that your child is not understanding, I can say that he's a sponge that observes, and slowly, by doing this every day, while you are giving him a bath, or while you are dressing him, or while you are doing anything around the house, you give this kind of information to your child, so in this way he can absorb it and understand the things that you are doing. And even though he might not talk, he still is able to understand certain things that you are doing by just the way how you describe and the way how you share with him. Another thing that I can say is a very good time and a very good way to stimulate your baby to talk by singing. Actually, there are so many baby songs in TV, and you can hear lots of different kind of songs that they are for children. And singing together, it helps. It is a very nice way that stimulates your child to talk. And also singing with gestures, I find out that my child really like. Usually we sing the Itsy Bitsy Spider, which we make all the movement of the song, and we try to describe with the actions of the hands, and try to make it more expressive for him. So he finds very interesting when we sing this kind of songs, or we sing the wheels on the bus, and we start to make every kind of movement with our hands, and he finds it very, very attractive. I do this every day, and we spend some time together, and I find this a game for him, and also it develops even certain skills like communication, and so he tried to imitate me by doing this kind of gesture. I also can say that the babies has, or at least I can talk on what I have understand from my child, is that the children, the babies, they might start trying to say the first words that they have even they are even with gestures. Actually, bye, bye everybody, bye,
Ba, ba,
bye,
ba.
bye, bye, bye. Actually, he starts saying bye, and he starts moving his hands. He starts saying moi, like throwing a kiss, or he starts saying bravo when he claps his hands. They are a few words that they have even gestures, and they make it more interesting for the baby. So they start pronouncing it, and also they start expressing themselves with a gesture. These were very, very first beginning, and very first words that he was saying was bye, and also saying bravo. I every time that he was doing good, or he was playing and he was finding the puzzles, I always used to say bravo, and he still kept saying that with clapping his hands. And there are even other words that you can introduce to your child, and you can help your child to pronounce this word, and also to do the gestures, because it's very interesting for them, and it stimulates them to say as the first word. Uh, Another way of uh, trying to stimulate your child to talk is to play with a baby. Actually, the games, they have buttons, they make noise, they are toys that they sing, they are toys that they say words. There are so many toys for children that they are attractive for them to play, but also they encourage them to talk. Actually, the first word that he started saying was even the word meow. He learned that from the cat that we had home, but he also learned from the a cat, a toy cat that used every time that he was playing with that toy was doing meow meow, and it helped him to pronounce this kind of word. And also he started making even the noise of the car by vroom vroom, because one of the truck that he has in the home, it has a noise that makes this kind of a motor or engine sound. So he started pronouncing this kind of words that he find interesting through the toys. Also, uh, one of the best way to help your baby to talk is to play with a baby outside. Baby, they can smell, they can see, and they can hear different kind of noises that they are from outside. Outside, the games are more attractive, because inside the house they might get even bored. And you can show him the noise of the helicopter that is coming, or you can show him different kind of games, like putting inside the truck and dropping the little stones outside the truck, so he can understand the meaning of the word in and out. Also, in the nature, or depends where you live, he can find different things that they are interesting, and by introducing them, he can find more attractive to play outside, and to spend some time with your child in a nature, or in an environment that has different things to introduce to him. Another way is the story time, or reading the baby the book. Reading a book is a nice way to tell the baby the story, and also depends on the age of your child. You can use different kind of books that they are for different ages. For those that they are very little, and 1 or 2 months old, they can see more black and white books, and then when they grow older, they can see more colors. When the baby goes 1 year in the house, then there are books that they have more words, and also more actions, and they start to learn your child with the different words. And also you can read like a story, so he can get used with the vocabulary and try to understand more and more words from what you are reading. Actually, I start reading 2-3 days the same book, and then every 3 days I try to change. So in this way, I am not reading always the same story, and in this way, I can introduce more words and more stories and different things that the books has in their pages. Uh, Another thing that I can say, and I still struggle with my child, but I try to learn him, is uh, to uh, to understand, or to make your child understand to wait. So if he asks something, you should not give right away, but you make him wait. So in this way, you encourage him to talk, or you give half of it. If your baby is asking for a toy, you don't give it right away. You start to build a communication with him. So in this way, you stimulate your baby to talk and to share his ideas with him. It might be a baby language, and you might not understand, but this is a way how you encourage, and you try to stimulate your baby to say the first word. And also, if he wants a banana and you want to, don't offer the whole banana right away. You just give a little bit of banana. He eats, and you're gonna stimulate him to ask for more. So in this way, you stimulate your baby to talk. And also, it is very important, because in this way your child can understand how to wait, and to be more patient than just asking the things and then they start crying if you don't give them right away. It is a challenge even with my child, especially when he wants to eat something. He wants it right away, but I try slowly to make him understand to wait and to express what he wants, and to stimulate him to say his baby language or the first words, so I can encourage him to talk more. Another way that the baby can talk, or in a rich environment with different different people that they talk. It is very important that he can be part of this environment, because in this way he can can help him to encourage him to talk, and also it can extend the vocabulary and the words that he might limit, just the words that he might know, because when he's limited in the environment and he doesn't have many persons that they talk around him, it's gonna be harder for him to understand new words, and also it's gonna be harder even for him to talk. Um, uh, in this way, there are different kind of way how to encourage with different family members. Usually, the children, they get more encouragement by children, so when they are together, the way how they play and the way how they try to do the things, it encourages the baby to talk more than just being home alone with the same person all the time. Different babies, they start communicating and they start trying to express themselves when they are babies. Some of them, they start pronouncing the first word, but still they are not developed enough and they have very limited word. Also, there are different kind of way how they communicate by pointing the things with the index finger, which is a very important milestone for the children. Also, there are children that they pull your hands and they try to grab your attention and to show you your things that you want. Different babies, they might express their own way and they might try to build their own communication with you in a different way. It is very important to be close to your child, to understand their behavior. If something that worries you and you think that your child is not doing good, it's always good to talk with your pediatricians. If you see that at 18 months your child is having troubles and he's not pronouncing words, and you see that he's not advancing in a speech or in a language development, it's always good to talk with your pediatricians. He might recommend you for a speech therapist and a language therapist that can help your child to develop and to talk more words, and or he can suggest different kind of therapies or different kind of methods how it can help the baby to express more more words and more language development. The other thing that I can recommend is not to compare too much children together. I can say that because sometimes I do, and I get very worried that I see another child that is developing and my child is not doing that. Every children has their own development, and every children, they have their own progress. And some children, they take longer, or some children, they take less time to develop certain skills, and that's not going to be a flag to you for you to worry. But if you see certain things that you are worried as a parent, and you see that you are trying to do and something for him and he's not progressing, it's always good to talk with your pediatricians and to share your concern with your doctor. So in this way you can get a professional advice and also a professional treatment. So this is something that I wanted to share with you. I hope you find interesting, and thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe my channel, and see you in the next episode.